Hi, so I hope you enjoyed my intro to the Arc of a Scythe series. It turned into a much bigger video than I imagined, with the whole world building, telling you a bit more about the characters and about the whole dystopian world, that I've ended up making it into 3 videos. So this second one will be all about book two, which is called The Toll. So here we go. So this video is going to be focusing on book 2, which is The Toll. But if you haven't seen the first one, go check it out, because it covers that, like an intro to the whole world that it's set in. And it also focuses on the first book in the series, which is called The Scythe. So book 2, The Toll. One of the first things we need to do is I need to update you on some of the characters' names. So at the end, Citra passes her Scythe apprenticeship, and she has now changed her name. So the patron she decides to take on is Anastasia. So she is Scythe Anastasia, which is just crazy, because one of the characters in my series is also called Anastasia, but she mainly goes by the name Anna. So we've got a Scythe Anastasia, who is one of the main characters. Rowan's name changes. He did not pass his Scythe apprenticeship, but if you read book 1, you'll find out how he managed to get away from being gleamed at the end, which was just, I didn't see it coming, so it was really, really good twist, and I really liked it. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, so you have to read the book to find out. But he decides to take on the patron Lucifer, so he becomes Scythe Lucifer, and it's so much fun. So Anastasia continues to stay with Scythe Curie, and but she develops her own way of gleaming. So Curie liked to invite the families over for dinner after she'd gleamed them, so that they would mourn the and hear tales about the person who'd been gleamed. So kind of what we have today, like funerals and wakes sort of thing. So that sort of thing, to remember the person. Whereas Anastasia decides that she's going to tell people that she is going to gleam them, that they have been chosen, and they have a month to decide how they would like to be gleamed, and a chance to say goodbye to their loved ones. So Curie doesn't completely agree with this, but that is how Anastasia decides to do it, and it's working quite well. However, and also another person whose name has changed that we should... I'm jumping around, because a lot does happen in this book as well. So Lucifer, he has to obviously go undercover because people aren't happy that he hasn't been gleamed. But he decides to take it upon himself to right the Scythedom. So he is going to gleam the Scythes that he feels are not following the rules properly, so those that are not really worthy to be a Scythe. So he becomes this terror that a lot of the New Order are quite terrified of, because he will come and gleam them when they least expect it. And they've never been in that position before, because being Scythes, they are beyond being gleamed. The only person who can gleam them is themselves. So this is quite scary for them. And the Thunderhead can't help them and won't intervene in Scythe business. So off Rowan goes, gleaming Scythes that are naughty, just like he did to his ex-mentor Goddard. So here is Goddard has been gleamed. So another person whose name has changed in this book is Grayson. So he was somebody who was training to be an agent. So agents are people that work very closely with the Thunderhead, so it's like a job, a really high respected job. They often work quite closely with the Thunderhead, and what happens is that the Thunderhead finds a loophole sort of to not interfere with Scythe business. So what happens is that somebody is trying to kill either Anastasia or Curie, we don't know, but there is a hit, and the Thunderhead decides that as Grayson, who has always had a really close relationship with Thunderhead, which why he wants to be a Thunderhead, he's like, his family don't really care about him. He's just like, oh, another kid in the family, who cares? Like, we'll just reset and start our lives again. Who cares about this new child? So he hasn't really got a close relationship with his family. And so the Thunderhead has almost been like that parental figure in his life, guiding him, supporting him, giving him the information and knowledge he needs for life. So he has this very like child adult relationship with the Thunderhead, and that's one of the reasons why he wants to become an agent. But so it's the day that he's going to graduate as an agent, so he's really excited. But when he gets there, instead he has been marked as unsavory, so he's now one of the bad guys, and his name has changed. He's now become Slade Bridger. So this was really interesting, because you kind of see the Thunderhead like doing things she shouldn't have done. So one of the things that she did that she didn't do is, I can't remember quite how it happened, but she gave him information about a hit that was going to happen to Curie and Anastasia, and he's able to intervene and stop this hit from happening. They aren't sure if they can trust him, because could he have been the one that was going to do the hit and then had second thoughts? But Anastasia, yes, I can't remember quite what happens next. So anyway, so he saves their life. They're kind of grateful but a little bit suspicious. He then goes off to do his own thing. He's now an unsavory, so he then we then get to see the unsavory world, which was really interesting. So these are the people that want to rebel, but obviously the Thunderhead is controlling the rebellion. So it's there's these clubs where people can go to pay to beat people up and stuff like that. It's all over. It's almost like role play, like some weird fetish. So anyway, he gets involved with that. He makes friends with this girl. This girl wants to do these things, these naughty things, and he's getting involved with doing criminal activity with her and enjoying it. So that's going on, and that's really interesting to read about, because it's just another part of this world that we're learning about. So as you can see, someone is trying to kill either Curie or Anastasia. We've got Lucifer, who is trying to kill Scythe, who doesn't feel are worthy of the Scythe. Now, it makes sense for him to kill Anastasia, because eventually she's going to gleam him. That's what's supposed to happen. But they do still have this kind of romantic thing going on between them. It's difficult to explain. It's not it's full on, it's not a steamy romance. It's not any massive sweet romantic scenes. It's almost this unspoken bond, very much if you've watched one of those Japanese romance films. It's this calm respect for each other kind of romance. That's kind of what it's like. So that's going on. So it's almost like she's safe, but you can't be certain. Curie doesn't trust him. She doesn't have that relationship that Anastasia has with Lucifer, that she's you can't trust him. He's a bad guy. But she can't. She's obviously got this relationship because they were peers together. She knows him well, because they've lived together, they've trained together, so they've got this close knit. But nobody else has that. Everybody else is fearing him. So that's going on. We've got this whole Grayson thing going on, who's now Slade, the naughty guy, trying to uncover it, and people are trying to kill him. And then, do you remember I said that Rand's got this weird romantic relationship with Goddard, that Goddard does not have any romantic feelings back for her. So she's it's almost like she's obsessed with him, he's on this pedestal, he's amazing. So anyway, after the whole massacre where Rowan killed, chopped his head off, he burned most of them, Rand managed to get out, and when she escaped, she managed to escape with Goddard's head. Yes, this is one of those horror films where the bad guy just will not stay dead. So she has saved his head, and she is so angry at Rowan for what he has done, that she decides the best way to punish Rowan, to really make him suffer, is to invite his friend Tiger over. And she starts to manipulate Tiger, that she's training him to be a Scythe. He doesn't quite realise that she's not really bringing anything that she's promising, that she's actually Well, I guess she isn't quite lying, because she does make him a Scythe, but not probably the way that the party boy was hoping to become a Scythe. So, without spoiling too much, Goddard is back. And he reveals himself at the next conclave, the big meeting thing where all the Scythes get together and talk about like what's going on next. So that causes a bit of a ruckus. And there's also this voting, like who's going to be the new, I can't remember what they were called. There was this island where all the big decisions are made, and there's like a representative goes there. Was it called the Grand Slayer? Anyway, they go there, and so it's like a nominated person for each like area. So like Mid Mercia would have one, and I think did Rowan Glean the Grand Slayer? Anyway, he's gone, so they need a new Grand Slayer. So everyone has to vote who they want, and people decide that they want to vote for either Curry, and it's almost like slam dunk. Curry is going to get it, which is probably I think that's why someone was trying to put a hit on her, because they don't want her to be the Grand Slayer, because that would put an old order person in that position. So this is a chance for a new order person to get there, but nobody in the new order has got enough respect like Goddard did. And then through the doors, here comes Goddard. He is back from the dead, and so then this causes like a rift, because it's like pretty split. Some people, the new order mostly want Goddard, and the old order mostly want Curry, but there's still like a bit of a split, so there's got to be a vote. So there's only this delay into the vote, and that is what the hits are on Curry, I remember now, because people trying to take out the competition, but they can't prove it. So yeah, so that's going on. So they're a little bit in danger. That's going on. Got Lucifer going around killing people. We've got Goddard back from the dead. That means lots of people are going to be getting gleamed, because he loves mass gleamings. And so they go to this place, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like out in the middle of the sea, and that's where the votes are going to be counted. And at the same time, we've got Slade working for the Thunderhead without working for the Thunderhead, because Thunderhead can't communicate with him because he's an unsavory, but he knows the Thunderhead so well that he can almost like interpret what the Thunderhead wants or is asking him, and that's how he's able to like foil these hits without the Thunderhead saying anything. Clever. See, the Thunderhead, not quite so innocent AI, not just not interfering, is interfering a little bit. So they go out to this place where they're going to do the voting. Meanwhile, don't forget about Scythe Faraday not being dead. He is not dead, and he is working on his own secret mission, which is where we get this new character come in. Can't quite remember what her name is, and they're like studying and looking at the books, because he believes this is it the Land of Nod. Anyway, it's from a nursery rhyme, that he believes that this is a real place, and he's convinced if he goes through the old books he can find it, and he believes that the Scythedom has got out of hand, and that the original Scythes will have had a fail-proof plan, and that will be stored on this secret location that he needs to find. He thinks it's a black spot that even the Thunderhead can't see, so they have to find the information themselves, because this is something the Thunderhead won't know, and plus the Thunderhead won't help them with their information. And the person at the Great Library, is it Library at Alexandra or something, that he enrolls to help him, like gets them involved, is somebody who did a Scythe apprenticeship but did not pass, and this is something that they're now doing this librarian job instead, which I thought was really cool, because like it never even crossed my mind until that point, like what happens if you don't pass the apprenticeship? Like how weird would it be to try and go back to your normal life with everyone knowing that you've been trained to be a killer, and that you have probably killed people as part of your training. It's that's just got to be so strange. Like you couldn't go back to your normal life after that. So it was really interesting to see somebody who had been through that. I mean, look at Lucifer. He's not normal anymore. So that happens. So they're going on their secret mission, and that all starts to uncover, and that's quite exciting. And then the big vote happens, and it comes to like you see all the like Grand Slayers all together in the room announcing it, and they somehow managed to catch Lucifer, so they've got him as a prisoner, and they're going to like unveil him as like this like they think it'll be like really cool, like his first act as Grand Slayer. God, I was going to like like gleam Lucifer so that everyone can see that they don't need to be feared, and how like pleased will they be. So anyway, they go to the Grand Slayer like room to hear the votes, and things don't go Goddard's way. I'm not going to ruin what happens after that, but oh my gosh, reading it, I was like, whoa, it was brilliant. Oh my gosh, it was worth reading the book just for that bit. But I mean, the whole book is great, but that bit, I did not see it coming. I did not see it coming. And the next book, I did not see how it was going to start. So yeah, so without ruining too much of the book, like, so many people die. Goddard is angry. He kills so many people. And there is no way anyone is going to survive. So I was like, how is the next book going to start? Because I was just like, oh my gosh. And you kind of can see a slight opening, but it's just like, how are they going to recover from this, because it was just so big. So as you can probably tell from my review of book 2, it was just incredible, and I could not wait to pick up book 3 and find out what was going to happen next. Like, how are they going to get out of this? Things that were just so bad by the end of book 2, but bad in a way for a reader that is really, really good.